The bus driver problem. Does it have to be this difficult? That's the headline of a recent blog entry at the John Locke Foundation's Locker Room from Dr. Bob Luebke. He is Senior Fellow at the Center for Effective Education at the Locke Foundation, and this is something a lot of parents of school-age kids are thinking about. Bus drivers. Is it really this hard to solve this issue?
Yeah, it's a big issue, Mitch. Anybody who's got anyone in school knows that bus driving and the bus routes are really important. And the shortage of drivers is really kind of upending family schedules. Kids get to school late. Parents, schedules get changed around. It's a big disruption, and school districts aren't doing a very good job at providing solutions to it.
We have seen, as we often see when there's something going on in the schools, that there are certain groups that say, hey, it's time to spend more money. And and you take a look at this in that blog entry.
Yeah, there's been a lot of finger pointing by the well-known groups on the left, and most of that's been directed at the state legislature, trying to increase wages for bus drivers and other groups, et cetera, which is the typical response to most issues like this. But that's not really going to, some of that's been tried in a number of places, just providing bonuses and so forth, but it hasn't really remedied the problem. The other issue I took with that is their finger pointing has been at the General Assembly, but really the issue and where they should be, pointing their fingers is at local school districts, because those are the people that really have more of a say on what's going on at the local level, actually hire the drivers, and also are sitting on a big pot of money from COVID funds.
Yeah, you point out that if this were only a money problem, the schools have plenty of money to deal with it.
That's right, and they're not. What's making things worse is they're refusing to spend it. Most school districts now have been in this holding pattern, waiting for the state budget to pass and find out what they have to backfill and where money's coming in and where it's not coming in, so they can figure out where their budget needs are. But as time goes on, and a lot of time has been going on, it gets harder on everyone: families, students, bus drivers, etc. It's not a good situation.
Is this a signal that as much as parents might be concerned about this isn't really the top priority for the school systems? I mean, if it were, they would have taken care of it.
What do you think, Mitch? Yes, unfortunately, I think this comes through loud and clear. That this isn't a big priority. What's really even more telling is the amount of money that these school districts are sitting on, and they can spend it on needs like this. Much of this is COVID related. There are provisions in the monies for preserving staff levels and helping keep service levels at current levels. And this bus drivers are included in that. And I came out in previous pieces and said that school districts, should be wary about, hiring a lot of staff. But this has created a lot of problems, and I think we're not talking about a huge, expenditure of money in most cases in local districts. But this is a problem that really has outsized impacts on families.
If there's going to be a good solution to this, your blog entry suggests that this probably is going to take place at the local level. It's not going to be the legislature throwing a lot more money at it.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's instructive to look at what other districts have done. In some cases, bonuses or raising salaries may help, but let's think outside the box here. Other districts have had parents driving students, and contracted with private services. Some have used vans. Some have tried to just change up their whole transportation policy. Now's the time for really outside the box thinking on this. And unfortunately, most of our districts, have not done that at all.
The blog at the Locker Room, the John Locke Foundation's blog, has the title, "The Bus Driver Problem, Does It Have to Be This Difficult?" Its author is Dr. Bob Liebke. He is the Senior Fellow at the Center for Effective Education. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mitch.